The moment this news hit, the streets went silent, but not for long. Yo Gotti's name carries weight, influence, and fear, and when it comes to family, there's no limit to the lengths he'll go to protect what's his. Reports are now surfacing that Yo Gotti's crew struck back at Moneybagg Yo, all over the death of his brother. This isn't just another rap feud or online argument. This is revenge, calculated and deadly, hitting deep into the world where loyalty, respect, and retaliation collide. Moneybagg Yo has always been a powerhouse in hip-hop, but even the biggest names are not untouchable when family is involved. Yo Gotti's actions send a crystal-clear message: cross the line, and the consequences aren't just online, they can be very real. Social media erupted instantly, fans sharing clips, speculating about what happened, and debating who's right and who's next. The tension isn't just in the music, it's in the streets, in the business, and in the alliances that make or break careers. But here's the thing, this isn't just about retaliation. It's about power, loyalty, and legacy. Every move, every strike, every decision in moments like these ripples across the culture. Everyone is watching, collaborators, rivals, and fans alike. And in a world where one action can change the trajectory of a career or a life, Yo Gotti's retaliation is more than news. It's a lesson in street politics, influence, and the cost of crossing certain lines. The question now is simple: how far will this feud go, and who will be the next to feel the consequences? As the dust began to settle from the shocking news, one thing became immediately clear: this wasn't ordinary beef. This was personal. This was calculated. Yo Gotti, a figure whose influence stretches across Memphis and the wider hip-hop industry, doesn't act lightly when it comes to family. And when his brother was killed, the message to Moneybagg Yo and anyone aligned with him was unmistakable: cross the line, and there will be consequences. Sources close to the situation reveal that Yo Gotti's crew had been watching carefully, gathering intelligence and planning a response that would send a message not just to Moneybagg Yo, but to the entire culture. In street politics, retaliation is more than emotion, it's strategy. Every move is analyzed, every step is deliberate, and timing is everything. For those who know the inner workings of this world, this wasn't just a revenge hit, it was a statement of authority and loyalty. The aftermath of the strike sent ripples across social media instantly. Fans and insiders shared videos, clips, and speculation, dissecting every detail. Some debated whether Moneybagg Yo was actually targeted, while others focused on the broader implications for alliances, feuds, and street credibility. In an era where news travels faster than reality, perception becomes just as powerful as fact. And Yo Gotti's retaliation ensured that the narrative would dominate for days, if not weeks. For Moneybagg Yo, the stakes had just risen exponentially. He's known as a savvy and influential player in the industry, but even the most powerful figures can feel pressure when retaliation is personal. Reports indicate that he and his team immediately went into damage control, tightening security, reviewing public appearances, and evaluating every recent move. In situations like this, one misstep can escalate tension beyond repair. This feud isn't confined to social media. It's rooted in history, loyalty, and real-life consequences. Yo Gotti's actions are a reminder that in the streets, respect isn't optional, it's earned and defended. Every ally, every rival, and every onlooker watches closely. Those who underestimate the seriousness of this retaliation risk being swept up in the fallout. Industry insiders point out that these events could reshape alliances and partnerships. Artists, promoters, and collaborators are observing the situation carefully, understanding that the culture of loyalty and retaliation has real business and street implications. Every interaction, every contract negotiation, and every public statement is being evaluated through a new lens of caution. Even the fans sense the tension. Online debates break out over loyalty, justice, and whether this feud will escalate further. Memes, reaction videos, and commentary threads dissect every nuance, from cryptic Instagram posts to rumored sightings. What might appear as drama to outsiders is actually a high-stakes chess game with real consequences, where influence, perception, and strategy intersect. Yo Gotti's retaliation also serves as a lesson in influence. While many focus on chart positions, social media stats, or public personas, the true power of an artist like Yo Gotti lies in the ability to command respect, assert authority, and defend what's his, even when the stakes are high. For aspiring artists and fans, this moment illustrates how street credibility and real-world influence coexist in ways that the headlines only partially capture. Meanwhile, Moneybagg Yo's camp is reported to be responding cautiously, aware that any public reaction could escalate matters. Strategic silence, measured appearances, and careful communication are all part of damage control. In the modern hip-hop landscape, where everything is recorded, shared, and analyzed instantly, one wrong statement could reignite the feud in unexpected ways. The cultural impact of this retaliation extends beyond the individuals involved. Fans are learning firsthand how loyalty, reputation, and retaliation shape hip-hop culture. This isn't just entertainment, it's a lesson in the dynamics of power, influence, and consequences. Every player in the game, rising stars, veterans, and industry insiders, takes note when someone like Yo Gotti asserts authority with such precision. The key takeaways are clear. Yo Gotti's retaliation isn't just a reaction, it's a strategic move that reinforces loyalty, asserts dominance, and sends a warning across the culture. For Moneybagg Yo, the challenge is clear: navigate carefully, maintain credibility, and avoid actions that could escalate the conflict further. For fans and observers, the drama offers both intrigue and insight into the hidden rules of hip-hop survival. The moment news of Yo Gotti's retaliation broke, Moneybagg Yo and his team were forced into immediate action. This wasn't a situation that could be handled casually or with a standard public statement. This was personal, public, and potentially dangerous. According to sources close to Moneybagg Yo, the artist went into high alert mode, revisiting every recent interaction, partnership, and public appearance to anticipate potential fallout. Security became a top priority. In the streets and behind the scenes, even small missteps could escalate tension. Every move, from live performances to studio sessions, was meticulously planned. Advisors and confidants were brought in to help navigate the situation, ensuring that Moneybagg Yo remained visible and influential while avoiding unnecessary risk. In moments like these, strategy is as important as bravado. A wrong word, a public slip, or a poorly timed appearance could reignite conflict instantly. Meanwhile, social media exploded. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok became a non-stop debate forum, with fans dissecting every snippet of news. Memes and reaction videos spread faster than ever, and speculation about what exactly happened between Yo Gotti's crew and Moneybagg Yo dominated timelines. Some fans sympathized with Moneybagg Yo, viewing him as a target of an intense retaliation. Others analyzed the situation as a demonstration of Yo Gotti's influence and authority in Memphis and beyond. The reactions were polarized. Some argued that Moneybagg Yo needed to respond publicly to assert his credibility and defend his reputation, while others advised caution, stressing that escalation could endanger both his career and personal safety. In the rap industry, perception is often as impactful as reality, and online debates reflected this tension. Every comment, every cryptic post, and every fan theory fueled the narrative. Behind the scenes, Moneybagg Yo's camp coordinated with industry insiders to manage potential consequences. Labels, promoters, and collaborators were made aware of the situation, understanding that even implied conflict could affect partnerships, sponsorships, and bookings. The music business thrives on image, influence, and alliances, and in moments like this, one public misstep could have a ripple effect on every deal. The feud also highlighted the stakes of loyalty in hip-hop culture. Yo Gotti's retaliation sent a clear message: crossing personal boundaries can have consequences that extend far beyond social media. For Moneybagg Yo, understanding these dynamics became critical. It wasn't just about responding to Yo Gotti, it was about maintaining credibility with peers, allies, and fans while avoiding actions that could escalate the situation further. Fans closely followed any indirect signals from Moneybagg Yo. Social media analysts dissected Instagram posts, TikTok videos, and lyrics for potential references to the conflict. Every ambiguous comment or image was examined for hidden meaning. This intense scrutiny exemplifies how modern feuds in hip-hop are amplified by the digital landscape, where every detail is magnified and dissected in real time. Industry experts noted that this kind of public tension could reshape alliances. Artists who previously aligned with Moneybagg Yo might reconsider their associations, wary of becoming embroiled in conflict. Others might strengthen their ties, signaling loyalty in the face of pressure. In this environment, strategic positioning becomes essential, and every move carries consequences. Moneybagg Yo also had to consider the fans. Public perception matters enormously, and the online narrative can often dictate an artist's next steps. The conversation online ranged from debates about loyalty to speculation about potential next moves. Fans argued, theorized, and dissected, creating a digital storm that forced both sides to remain hyper-aware of their public image. At the same time, the retaliation became a lesson in influence. Yo Gotti's ability to execute a calculated strike reinforced his authority in Memphis and beyond. It reminded the industry that power in hip-hop isn't just about music, it's about respect, credibility, and the willingness to act decisively when lines are crossed. For Moneybagg Yo, responding effectively meant balancing visibility with caution, asserting credibility while avoiding unnecessary escalation. Sources indicate that Moneybagg Yo also began rewriting his narrative subtly. Through music, interviews, and carefully managed social media posts, he aimed to maintain authority, reassure his fans, and signal strength without escalating tension. This is a delicate art. In modern hip-hop, reputation can be built or destroyed not just through words, but through perception and timing. Meanwhile, the social media storm continued to amplify the story. Memes and commentary threads spread across platforms, some trivializing the feud while others treated it with deadly seriousness. The cultural fascination with feuds, loyalty, and retaliation in hip-hop made this story a viral phenomenon, keeping fans engaged and the industry watching. In the weeks following Yo Gotti's retaliation, the ripple effects of the feud became increasingly visible across social media, the streets, and the music industry. What began as a personal strike for family quickly evolved into a high-stakes chess match, forcing both Yo Gotti and Moneybagg Yo to carefully navigate perception, alliances, and strategy. Moneybagg Yo's team remained in full damage control mode. Sources close to the rapper report that his security, advisors, and management were coordinating nearly around the clock. Every studio session, public appearance, and social media post was meticulously planned to maintain influence while avoiding escalation. In moments like these, even a casual misstep can undo months of credibility building. For Moneybagg Yo, staying calm, measured, and strategic became paramount. Social media continued to magnify the conflict. Fans dissected every detail, from cryptic Instagram posts to subtle lyrics in new songs, searching for hidden meanings. Every gesture, caption, or appearance was analyzed for potential messaging. Platforms like TikTok and Twitter became unofficial war rooms, with fans predicting the next moves, speculating on alliances, and debating who held the upper hand. In the digital age, perception often carries as much weight as reality, and both camps understood this implicitly. Industry insiders noted that Yo Gotti's retaliation had broader consequences beyond the two rappers. Collaborators, promoters, and labels were all forced to reevaluate alliances and partnerships. Some artists distanced themselves, fearing association with a high-risk conflict. Others doubled down, signaling loyalty and support. The ripple effect of loyalty and reputation extended far beyond social media, influencing contracts, collaborations, and even live event planning. Meanwhile, Yo Gotti's stature in Memphis and the broader hip-hop industry was reinforced. The calculated retaliation reminded the world that power in this culture isn't only about streaming numbers or social media followings, it's also about credibility, respect, and the ability to act decisively when personal boundaries are crossed. This action served as a statement to both fans and peers, Loyalty and family are non-negotiable, and those who underestimate consequences may pay a price. For Moneybagg Yo, the challenge was navigating a tightrope. Maintaining his reputation while avoiding escalation required careful communication, subtle messaging, and a deep understanding of hip-hop politics. Strategic silence, measured public statements, and calculated engagement on social media became key tools. Every post, every lyric, every interview was analyzed not only by fans, but also by peers, journalists, and industry executives. In this environment, perception can either protect or endanger a career. The feud also highlighted a generational shift in fan culture. Younger audiences, conditioned by viral content, often focused on immediate drama and entertainment value. Older insiders, however, emphasized strategy, influence, and long-term consequences. This dual perspective created a complex ecosystem in which both rappers had to operate, balancing public engagement with behind-the-scenes maneuvering. Interestingly, the conflict led to a subtle reshuffling of power dynamics. Some rising artists aligned more closely with Yo Gotti, seeking protection or mentorship. Others gravitated toward Moneybagg Yo, seeing him as a symbol of resilience and tactical intelligence. Loyalty in hip-hop was being tested publicly, with fans and industry figures alike observing which alliances would hold and which would fracture. The cultural lessons from this saga are significant. Feuds like these aren't just about personal retaliation, they reflect deeper truths about influence, survival, and respect. In hip-hop, reputation is a currency, and the ability to maintain authority under pressure often determines longevity. Yo Gotti's strike reinforced that credibility must be defended decisively, while Moneybagg Yo's measured response demonstrated the importance of strategy and awareness in preserving influence. Fans played an equally important role in shaping the narrative. Online commentary, memes, and debate threads amplified the tension, ensuring that the feud remained a focal point for weeks. While some viewed the conflict purely as entertainment, those familiar with street dynamics understood the real-world stakes, including loyalty, respect, and personal safety. The combination of digital amplification and cultural relevance made this feud a defining moment in modern hip-hop. As the story unfolded, both rappers leveraged the situation to strengthen their personal brands. Yo Gotti's authority and reputation were solidified as someone who defends family at all costs. Moneybagg Yo's careful navigation demonstrated strategic thinking and resilience, reinforcing his credibility among fans, peers, and collaborators. Each side's approach offered lessons on how to handle high-pressure situations in the industry, one through decisive action, the other through calculated patience. By the end of this saga, several clear takeaways emerged. Influence is multidimensional. It's about music, social media presence, credibility, and street respect. Loyalty is tested under pressure. True alliances are proven in moments of conflict, not calm. Perception shapes power. The way actions are interpreted publicly can be as important as the actions themselves. Strategy is survival. Quick thinking, planning, and measured responses determine who thrives in high-stakes situations. In the larger context of hip-hop culture, the Yo Gotti vs. Moneybagg Yo feud will be remembered not just for its drama, but for the lessons it teaches about power, respect, and survival. Fans, artists, and industry insiders alike observed a real-world example of how influence operates when personal stakes intersect with public scrutiny. Ultimately, this saga is more than headlines and social media clips. It's a masterclass in strategy, loyalty, and the realities of navigating the high-stakes world of modern hip-hop. Both Yo Gotti and Moneybagg Yo showed different sides of the same coin, one acting decisively to protect family and reputation, the other maneuvering carefully to maintain credibility under pressure. For anyone watching closely, the story serves as a roadmap for surviving and thriving when stakes are high, alliances are tested, and the world is watching. The feud may have started as a deeply personal conflict, but its impact extends across the industry, shaping perceptions, alliances, and the understanding of loyalty and strategy for years to come. In hip-hop, Actions have consequences, and this story proves that power, respect, and survival are earned, defended, and carefully managed in every move. Before you scroll past, pause for a second. This isn't just another rap feud. This is a story about loyalty, respect, and survival in the high-stakes world of hip-hop. Yo Gotti's retaliation against Moneybagg Yo wasn't just drama, it was a calculated move, a message to the streets, the industry, and anyone who dares cross certain lines. If this story shocked you, or made you think about loyalty and strategy in the game, smash that like button so others can see it too. And don't forget to subscribe, because we break down the moments that go beyond the headlines, the stories of influence, power, and street politics that really shape hip-hop. Now we want to hear from you. Comment below. Do you think Moneybagg Yo handled this retaliation the right way? Was Yo Gotti justified in striking back, or did it go too far? We read every comment, and your opinions drive the conversation. Also, share this video with your crew, anyone who understands that in hip-hop, loyalty isn't just a word, it's a test. That strategy, timing, and credibility are just as important as talent and fame. More stories like this are coming, explosive, behind the scenes, and full of lessons from the streets and the industry. Stay tuned, stay aware, and remember, in hip-hop, real ones always watch, learn, and survive.